Or scared to be vulnerable in some sense?
It's certainly possible, but as it relates to therapy, I don't think therapy is even all that effective. Okay, so I honestly think even if you're inclined to getting that sort of thing, I think ChatGPT would do a better job than the therapist. I'm just being so honest. Like, I actually think if you talk to Chat, not that I do this, but like, I've asked ChatGPT about like historical shit, and I'm like, damn, like ChatGPT is smart as fuck. And I actually think AI, like talking to AI, would probably be better than therapy, I guess. But somebody's going to be upset by that. But look, of the people you know that go to therapy, have they resolved their shit? Most of them no. So is therapy effective? Maybe it acts as it pacifies you, maybe a little bit. But I think a lot of therapy is bullshit. I think, and there's certain therapies where, like marriage therapy, bro, you're going to get a fucking female therapist and she's going to side with the woman, and it's just going to be, you go to marriage therapy, relationship counseling, she's going to side with the woman. It's going to be fucking lame, woke nonsense. That's going to be bullshit. So I don't think a lot of people, it helps them even if they've been in therapy for a long time.
Didn't it help you?
Huh?
Didn't it help you?
Well, that was for something really specific.
Yeah.
But like the people that are in therapy, sort of aimlessly doing a talk therapy, they're vaguely unhappy, or they're for treating depression, for example. Maybe it's effective, maybe it isn't. But I think if you're vaguely unhappy or you're vaguely depressed or maybe severely depressed, I think a better approach would be, let's not put you on medication. Let's not have you talk to a fucking, we're going to trans the kids person. Let's have you, how can we improve your life? And if you're still depressed after you've tried to improve your life or you have improved your life, then we can perhaps explore that. But it's like, wow, okay, your money's all fucked up, your relationships are all fucked up, you're not living a healthy life, you're eating poorly, all these factors. Correct for those things first, and then if you're still depressed after that, like how about this? Get a six-pack and get rich, and if you're still depressed after that, then go to the therapy.
Well, usually that's what therapy does, though. It helps point people in the right direction. And oh, you're feeling this way, your therapist will maybe say, try to work out or try to improve this relationship.
Why would you need to go to a therapist to receive that information?
No, I'm not paying $1,000.
ChatGPT could tell you?
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it almost be common sense? But therapy should definitely be more than, if therapy is effective, it should definitely be more than just, well, I think you should try to get your sleep right. You should get your diet right. You should get your, maybe you got to do some blood work, see what's going on. Maybe
it's more complex than that, but that's how it is.
It's trying to resolve something going on mentally in your mind, and I don't know. I think that I think that my perspective is I don't know. Also, this idea of lingering, then it's your story now. I am a depressed person. I identify as being depressed. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Honestly, I think with issues, things that bother you, I've always, at least my experience, and maybe this isn't your experience as women or even the experience for other men. When I've had, when I was growing up and I was dealing with something, frustrating, or I was upset, my parents would be like, oh, do you want to talk about it? And what I found was when I talked about it, it's like relive. Now I'm more upset. Now I'm hanging on to the bad thing. And then I had other instances where they're like, do you want to talk about it? I'm like, I'm upset, but no, I'll be good. Well, I didn't say this, but no, I don't really want to talk about it. I feel like it makes it worse. And so I actually find that sometimes the shit that bothered you on Tuesday, by fucking Friday, you're fine.
I think
you're over it.
I think it's more so, why did it bother you? And figuring that out. At least that's how I use therapy as a tool. It's not, oh, this sucked, this is what happened in my life, this is what sucked. It's why.
Well,
and how to fix that moving forward.
Look, I'm not saying you can't learn lessons or there aren't some positives in therapy. It's going to be very therapist dependent. Obviously, there are better therapists than others. I also have an issue with just conceptually with this idea that there seems to be like a degree of affirmation in therapy. Gender affirmation. Okay, you go to a therapist and you send your fucking 10-year-old kid to a therapist, and your kid is confused, and they're like, well, I have maybe some more feminine interest, and you have a son. Great. Now your fucking therapist is going to put them on the fucking railroad track to affirming this fucking nonsense, and they're going to trans your fucking kid. So it's like this idea that, I don't know, I feel like therapists are going to be like, you're so right. Oh my, you're so valid. Everything you're saying is valid. I don't know if therapists can actually stand up to their clients and be like, nah, you're a fucking crazy bitch. You're doing some dumb shit. You're wrong. You're mistreating your boyfriend. No, the therapist is going to be like, oh my God, your boyfriend, he might be abusive. You should break up with him.
It definitely depends on the therapist for sure, but
Oh my God, your boyfriend is slightly conservative. You should probably dump him.
usually I feel like they're able to
You go to a
switch.
liberal therapist
No, I
and you
don't.
tell your therapist, my boyfriend is based and conservative. Your therapist is going to make you dump your fucking
I don't think
boyfriend.
so.
She's going to make you dump your boyfriend.
I think they'll call you out and be like, actually,
No.
you should consider this perspective.
No,
they won't.
I've been in therapy before. That is not accurate. They will feed into your bullshit every time.
maybe your
They'll
therapist
feed you
That's
what
not a
you
good
want to
therapist.
I've
hear.
had multiple therapists. That's his point, is that most therapists are just gonna enable you because you are giving their operation money. You are paying for that session. They are billing your insurance. They're going to keep you sick.
Yeah.
So how do we comfort you as a man?
Bow, do my laundry, cook, clean, give me peace, don't nag me, sex. And that's pretty much it. It's really, us men, we're very simple.
Do you have any like emotional comforts that a woman can provide for you?
Oh, sure. Like before we go to bed, she should like scratch my back or massage my back.
That's not emotional.
That's physical.
Like an emotional comfort would be, for example, to
give me
like,
an example
Like
then.
compliments.
yes, but like,
Well, yeah, of course the woman should simp.
like
of course.
talking about if something happened at work or something that happened throughout your day that made you upset, to have your woman ask you what's wrong and make you feel better and maybe bring up your mood instead of you being
Look, if
upset.
I'm inclined to talk about it with my girlfriend, if I want to relay the problem to her, but at least in my experience, and maybe other men operate differently. If I have a bad day at work, I don't want to. Look, if it's like interesting, I might relay it to my girlfriend, but generally, and part of, at least. Maybe I draw inspiration from my dad. My dad never fucking complained, ever. My dad, very stoic, and just never complained, just never would bring, he never whined. He did his job. And maybe that, had an influence on me. But I could go through some like crazy shit. Like some crazy shit could have happened. 95% of the time, I'm not dumping that on my girl. Not dumping on my... Now look, sometimes I might ask for her thoughts, or if it's like something really interesting, I might be like, yo, guess what happened? But generally, I'd rather just... My process for dealing with frustrating things is not let me talk about it and relive it and get frustrated all over again by talking about it. It's let me think about something else. Let me focus on something else. Let me be distracted. And then realistically, I'm sure you guys would agree, wouldn't you agree that 95% of the shit, like, have you ever been pissed off at something? Be honest. A week later, are you even thinking about that thing that bothered you? You've forgotten about it. Now, look, obviously there's things that can be long-term ongoing issues, but certain things, it's like, I don't need to talk about it.
But for me, it helps to get over an issue like that specifically by expressing my emotions and possibly getting another perspective on the situation.
I think one of the cool things that you can do is straight up asking, like, hey, are you okay? They say, nope, some shit went down at work today. And you can ask, do you want to talk about it? Do you want like feedback, or do you want to just kind of move on right now and like do something else and we don't have to talk about it, and kind of just ask and give them the opportunity. If they say move on, cool, move on.
Yeah, and it's perfectly
yeah,
fine
and
for
I
them
think
to
like
say they
asking
don't
is
want
like one
to.
of the like ways to support, and then just kind of honoring the request from there.
Yep.
I
agree.
also think that, I mean, there are some issues that cannot be solved. Now, you might say, well, you could go to the therapist to figure out how to cope with those things, right? But, like, for example, for me, like, I have various chronic pain issues. And so, and that's a frustrating component of my life that's ongoing. But I actually genuinely think if I went to a therapist about it and wallowed in self-pity about my chronic pain issues, it would actually probably, there's a mind-body connection. Thinking about these things, I think, can actually amplify physical pain. If you wallow, like if you actually think about the pain and you're upset by the pain and you talk about the pain and you relay to the person about your issues, it I don't know the right analogy here. It makes it more real. I mean, it is real, but it makes it your identity. And so when it comes to my chronic pain issues, like I think going to a therapist would actually, like, my pain would actually increase. And then I would be frustrated. I'd be talking to, how do you feel about your pain? Well, it fucking sucks. And then now I'm like, oh shit, now I'm thinking about how much it fucking sucks. And I'd be upset and I'd get all frustrated. And then that spikes your cortisol. And then you're like, that's gonna have an impact on your pain. People who have chronic pain issues, if you're stressed, you can have flare-ups and stuff. So there are just things in life as a man or as a woman, you accept what is, even if that thing is negative, you tolerate it, you deal with it, you cope with it. And I think going to a therapist, some liberal fucking woman, oh my God, I have chronic pain issues, how do I cope? It's just not, what are they gonna do? Even if you go to a doctor, doctors hate chronic pain people because there's not a solution to this thing. There's not a solution unless they pump you full of meds, and even then, that's a Band-Aid fix. Doctors do not like chronic pain patients because they don't really have an answer to it. So it's like, it's just something you accept, and it's something I accept. But if I went to a therapist to talk about it, well, how do you feel about No, I'll just be upset. It'll be upsetting. So I move through life with the problem, and I accept it. Anyways, whatever.
What if you have a disagreement with your girlfriend? You have to talk it out. Would you like talk it out or let it fester?
It depends what. So I believe it sort of depends what. I think women have a duty to, because I think sometimes women can be more neurotic than men. So this is a sensitivity to negative emotion. So I think situations in a relationship that the man doesn't even assess as bad, the woman will assess something, whether real or imagined, as bad. I do think in some situations, women need to regulate their desire to pick a fight and just be like, does this really fucking matter? Probably not. Okay, let it go. Like sometimes I'll be with a girl and she'll say something. Now there's sometimes you have to set a boundary. It depends. So it's very nuanced. But there are some times like a girl says something fucking stupid and I'm like, is this worth picking a fight over? Probably not. Whatever, let it slide. So I think in a relationship, whether you're a man or a woman, there's a degree of giving the other person grace. Giving grace, right? But so I do think women should have a duty to self-regulate and not be fucking nagging, annoying on your case about certain things. But other things, yeah, I think you should be able to have a conversation about.